Good afternoon and welcome to WSN's coverage of tournament baseball. Today is Division 6 from Coldwater's Veterans Field. We have the Columbus Grove Bulldogs and we have the Marion local Flyers. Mark Shine, Dave Bowen here. Dave, let's talk about the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. 14-11 on the season, 4-3 in the NWC. Give us a little synopsis on what we're going to see from the Bulldogs today.
Well, Mark, as always, it's great to be your wingman, and you're right. The Northwest Conference Columbus Grove Bulldogs, also the Putnam County League, finished 4-3 in both leagues, finishing third overall, tied with Allen East in the NWC. Braden Souders' club is really peaking at the right time of the year. They've won 6 of their last 7, and pitching and offense has been consistent. When they have looked at their losses on the season, defensively, they've had some situations that they haven't been as solid as they need to be. Well, they're in the district semifinals. What a great opportunity right now to put it all together. Hitting, pitching, and defense, and Coach Sauter thinks they can really be competitive against this Marion local Flyer club.
Let's go through the Columbus Grove Bulldog lineup. Then Kyle Hopkins will lead off and play shortstop. Alex Meyer will be the second baseman, hits second today. First baseman and batting third is Brady Basinger. Caleb Davis will be behind the plate. He hits fourth. Jacob Ricker is in right field, hits fifth. The pitcher, Gabe Sauter, hits sixth. In the seventh spot is Carter Flores at third base. Aiden Patrick is in center field, and Wyatt First will bat last and be in left field. Dave, the Marion local Flyers come in. They were the number 1 seed in this district. They're 15-7, 5-4 in the MAC. How about your synopsis of what we'll see from the Flyers today?
Well, Coach Mitchell Hayes, in his 5th season, has a club right here this year. They were here last year. They want to get through this district, and they've had a season that's had its ups and downs, but they've won 4 of their last 5 contests. Pitching is the key for this club. When they have had some losses on their schedule, they've looked back to some performances that weren't quite up to par on the hill. And then they look for Griffin Bruns, their leadoff hitter, to kickstart this offense. He was first in the Midwest Athletic Conference with 19 stolen bases. He gets on base. He is the trigger for Marion local to score runs.
Let's go to the Flyers starting lineup then. They will start off with Griffin Bruns leading off. Griffin plays at shortstop. Ian Rindler will be the pitcher today and hit second. Ethan Heitkamp will be at the catcher spot today and hit third. Hayden Peppelman will be in right field and bat in the cleanup spot. Parker Hess hits fifth and plays at third. Bryant Meyer will be in left field. He'll hit sixth. And then Damon Kramer, the second baseman. Derek Kanapke at first base. Isaac Moeller will be the designated hitter. He will hit for Drew Laws, the center fielder. And Isaac Moeller will hit last in the Marion local Flyer lineup. Each of these teams got here with a 9-0 victory in the sectionals. Columbus Grove was able to defeat Ada 9-0, and Marion local defeated Ada. That was also a 9-0 score. The Grove win was over Perry, who was the 6th seed. We've given you the starting lineups. We're going to be back in opening pitch right after this. You're watching high school baseball on WOSN. We're back at Veterans Field here in Coldwater. It's Division 6 District Semifinal matchup. Our presenting sponsor today is Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. And our first inning today is brought to you by Home & Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Mark Shine, Dave Bowen here. Dave, we've talked about starting lineups. We have not given the umpires yet. Behind home plate will be Randy Schellenbarger. At first base, Tony Castronova. And at third base will be Kyle Gerlach.
Yeah, Mark, and as we get ready to go here, you mentioned in the sectional finals, both of these teams won 9-0. Marion local defeated their opponent, Ada. Yeah, and Parker Hess had 2 hits. Poppelman was 1 for 4, and Bryant Meyer 2 for 4.
Ian Rindler's on the mound. His first pitch to Kyle Hopkins is a strike. Kyle Hopkins comes in hitting .467 on the season. Rindler is 4-2 on the season, and that pitch is a bit outside. He's pitched 33 innings. His ERA is 3.39. He's 4-2. He struck out 33 batters. He's given up 27 hits, 23 walks. He's hit 6 batters on the season. His ERA is 3.39, and the count goes to 1-2. Pitch is outside. Ethan Heitkamp is the catcher at third base. Parker Hess, Griffin Bruns is at short. Damon Kramer's at second base. Derek Knapke plays first. Peppelman is in right. Drew Laws is in center. Bryant Myers will be in left. And we go full count on the opening hitter, Kyle Hopkins.
As you mentioned, Ian Rindler on the bump. Full count pitch, fouled off. And we had the privilege of covering Marion Local early in the season on WOSN against Fort Recovery, a game that went 8 innings, a game in which Parker Hess went the distance for Marion Local. So they have some depth in the starting rotation with Rindler and Hess.
Ball's hit up the middle of the shortstop. Bruns can't get to it. Here's the second base. Will make an effort. That's going to be an infield hit to start the game off. Good speed from Kyle Hopkins, a bouncer up the middle.
And we talked in the pregame about how Griffin Bruns sets the table for Marion Local. Well, Kyle Hopkins does the same thing for Columbus Grove. He'll put pressure on this Marion Local defense. He led the Bulldogs with 37 stolen bases this season.
Alex Meyer, the second baseman, steps in. 385 on the season for Alex. Snap throw to first. Gets back. Dave, we started this one at 5:01. Eric Goodwin, the AD tournament manager here, he runs things on a schedule, and he is right on top of this one.
I'm a little disappointed. 1 minute past 5 o'clock. 63 degrees, overcast. No rain, though. Rain in the area, especially north of Memorial Park, Veterans Field. But I think we're going to stay dry here.
First pitch strike to Alex Meyer. Here's Show's bunt up in the air. It's popped towards the first, and then it's going to be picked up and a scoop throw, and threw it wild. So Rindler came in, made the pickup, tried to underhand it to the first baseman, and I think that's going to be a sacrifice and an error, Dave. I'm looking to see what they put on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a tough situation right there. I think Rindler could have actually tagged Meyer out, but he decided to go with the throw. One underhand goes over the head of the first baseman, and yes, they do call it an error, but it is a sacrifice. Runners on the corners, Columbus Grove in business here in the top of the first.
And Brady Basinger steps in. The first baseman hits .338 on the season with 23 RBIs.
First team Northwest Conference selection. Brady Basinger, the sophomore.
9 home runs for him this evening. Big breaking ball, stays high. Ball 1. Hopkins was able to scamper to third with that throwing miscue by Rindler. Swings through that pitch. 1-1's the count.
See if Coach Sauter decides to put Alex Meyer in motion at first base. He was second on the team with 24 stolen bases, right behind Hopkins, 37. A lot of speed at first and third right now.
That pitch also gets past Basinger. Fastball on the inside part of the plate makes it 1-2. Caleb Davis is on deck.
Rindler looking to get an out via the strikeout to take some pressure off his defense.
I think he caught Meyer leaning a little bit that time. The snap throw over, but Meyer does get back. Good lead by Meyer at first base. There he goes. That ball's grounded foul.
Nice job right there by Brady Basinger. Curveball by Rindler. Just fought it off.
Count stays 1-2. It was 63 degrees at game time. No breeze today. Just a still flag out in left center field. 1-2. Here he goes again, and he strikes you out swinging. Meyer gets into second base, but we got a strikeout swinging of Basinger.
Big first out for Marion Local, but Meyer moves up on the pitch. Runners on second and third now for Davis.
368 hitter on the season with 17 RBIs. Looking at Jacob Ricker on deck.
Second on the team with hits at 28.
Big breaking ball for a strike. Hopkins has scored 32 runs for the season down there at third base. Myers scored 31 times. He's on second. Here's a Show's bunt. It's kind of a safety squeeze opportunity. Pulls the bat back. It's 1-1.
See if Coach Sauter takes it off or leaves it on. First and third charge. Second really wasn't coming to first base. Nobody covering the bag.
Ball's bunted out in front of the plate. And did they get him at first? They did.
They get him at first, but the run scores.
The run scores on the sack bunt by Davis.
It's 1-2 to 4. Pitcher to catcher to second baseman covering first for the out, but give Davis an RBI.
How about the presence of the catcher, Heitkamp, to make that play at first base?
Yeah, just not to give up on it.
Here's Jacob Ricker, 239 hitter on the season, takes a first pitch strike. Columbus Grove on the board first on our Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard. Breaking ball will stay outside and down. 1-1.
Rindler's going to have to come into the strike zone against Ricker. Ricker second on the team with 12 base on balls, has a good eye at the plate.
That pitch is inside, almost hit him. 2-1. Rindler has hit 6 batters on the season. That ball's hit to the shortstop, and Griffin Bruns makes the play, and Columbus Grove will score first here in the top of the first inning. Marion Local coming to bat. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Marion Local coming to bat. Our presenting sponsor today is Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and see us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. We had a strikeout in the opening inning. Strikeouts there are sponsored by Northwest Ohio Recycling in Pandora, paying top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, scrap iron, and scrap cars. That's 419-384-3392. Gabe Sauter's on the mound. Gabe has pitched 28 2/3 innings on the season. He's 4-1. He's given up 16 hits. He's struck out 22, walked just a single batter, Dave, in 28 2/3 innings. His ERA is a microscopic 0.488. They will line up defensively, will the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. Caleb Davis will be behind the plate. At third base is Carter Flores. Kyle Hopkins is at short. Alex Meyer is at second. Brady Basinger is the first baseman. Jacob Ricker is in right. Aiden Patrick is in center. And Wyatt First will be in left field today. And leading off here for the Marion Local Flyers will be Griffin Bruns, a 299 hitter on the season.
Columbus Grove got here with that 9-0 win over Lima Perry. Brady Basinger, he threw a no-hitter in that game in the sectional final this past Saturday. Had 6 Ks in the contest and was 1 walk away from a perfect game. So Brady Basinger, last pitch on Saturday, he'd be ready to come in for relief. But right now, Gage Sauter gets the call.
Griffin Bruns is 299 on the season. He scored 22 runs. He is also a base thief. He's been successful stealing 19 times today. Here's Sauter's first pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's in the dirt.
Gage Sauter, he is a story in and of himself. As a sophomore on the bump in the district semi.
That ball's hit up in the air. Track trace back is first. It's going to go off the wall. Bruns going to make the turn and hold up at second base. He got it over the left fielder's head and starts the inning off for the Flyers with a double.
Bruns gets that on the meat of the bat, hits it over Wyatt Fierce's head, finds himself on second. As we said in the pregame, a key for the Marion Local Flyers is for Griffin Bruns to get on base and kickstart this offense. He's on second with nobody out.
Ian Rindler will step in. Ian hits .333 on the season.
Rindler, a second-team max selection.
Sauter back to the plate. That swings through that breaking ball for a strike.
Getting back to Gage Sauter a little bit, he's a sophomore out there, has not played organized baseball since 7th grade. Real interesting storyline there. One of the most improved players, if not the most improved player, on this Columbus Grove squad.
Good job by Davis to keep the ball in front of him on that ball. It was in the dirt and outside. The count goes to, this is 1-1.
And his head coach, Braden Sauter, they are first cousins, as is Riley Sauter, who comes off the bench. He's in the dugout. 3 Sauters, all cousins.
Breaking ball, that's hit hard to left, and it will be foul.
Right now, Gage Sauter, he's got to start working the inner third and outer third. He's putting the ball right down Broadway, and these Marion local hitters, they know what to do with it. They were first in the Midwest Athletic Conference as a team with 13 home runs this season. Can't put it over the middle of the plate.
Rindler's got a couple of those 13 home runs. That pitch is low and into dirt. We'll go to 2-2. Winner of this game will get the winner of our second game today. That's the New Bremen and Parkway out of the MAC. Of course, we will telecast that game as well for you here on WOSN. That ball's hit the gap. And that's going to go in the gap. Score runs from first, and we're going to get back-to-back doubles for the Flyers to open this one up.
Bruns and Rindler, they trade places. Rindler fortunate enough to pick the RBI up as Bruns scores. And right now, Gage Sauter, he's not fooling anyone here in the early part of this game. Back-to-back doubles, solidly hit baseballs between center and left field.
16th RBI on the season for Rindler. Ethan Heitkamp steps in. He has 368 on the season. Breaking ball strike.
Ethan Heitkamp, a first-team Midwest Athletic Conference selection. Leads this team with that batting average of 368.
He's hit 4 home runs this season. Check swing on a pitch that's outside and low. 1-1.
Coach Mitch Hayes says he is our leader. They start a plethora of seniors, 8 seniors, 1 junior, 1 sophomore. But Ethan Heitkamp, he is the leader of this club.
He goes through a bunt that time and missed it. Be 1-2 is the count. Heitkamp. Hayden Peppelman's on deck at his 309 average and 26 RBIs.
Still nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Ball's hit to third, picked up by Flores. Throw goes across the diamond. He's safe. Beat it out.
Flores did a great job of checking the runner, but he just spent too much time licking the postage stamp, and as a result, doesn't get the out at first. Still, nobody out, 2-on for Marion Local.
Third hit of the inning already for the Flyers. Hayden Peppelman steps in, his 309 average and 26 RBI, as we mentioned a moment ago. Peppelman's the left-handed hitter, and he's got 7 home runs on the season, more than half of the team's 13.
And that led the Midwest Athletic Conference in the home run category, 7. And 7 used to be that wasn't as big a number as it is with the bats that they use today. That is a huge number. Great season for him.
Peppelman hits it up the middle. There's the shortstop, Hopkins. Throw across the diamond, and they get a double play.
Just what the doctor ordered if you are a Columbus Grove fan. An easy 6-3 double play. Not out of the woods yet as Rindler goes to third, but those are 2 big outs, Mark.
They certainly are. It does allow Rindler to move up a base, but brings in the 5th hitter here, Parker Hess, at his 333 average and 18 RBIs.
He's a second-team MAC selection as well.
Swings to a pitch, it's up and in.
Good placement right there by Sauter, as you said, up and in. Now if he goes down and away with the breaker as he pitches out of the windup with 2 outs, runner on third.
That breaking ball's hit up the middle and hit over the head of the center fielder, Aiden Patrick. Rindler scores. This is going to be yet another double. In fact, they're going to send him to third. And Parker Hess into third with a triple and another RBI. Makes it 2-1 in favor of the Marion Local Flyers.
Sauter went with the breaking ball right there, but he hung it over the plate. And Parker Hess, as we said, bats .333, second on the team with 18 RBIs, make it 19 now. He hit that one hard and long over Aiden Patrick's head.
Left-handed hitting Bryant Meyer will step in. Bryant hits .306 and 16 RBIs on the season. Pitches outside. And Dave, that double play looms huge after that triple.
It sure does. That would have cleared the bases, obviously. And right now, Grove needs to find an out and get in and regroup here. it seems like Marion Local has scored 7 or 8 runs. It's only 2-1. Get this third out, get in that dugout, get reorganized, and get the bats going if you're Columbus Grove. But right now, that's a big run on third for Marion Local, trying to bring that one in.
Pitches outside. Davis looks down to third, kind of bluffs him back a bit, makes it 2-1. That ball's hit up in the air. Center fielder Patrick's got a long way to run for that one. That one's over his head. That one's going to go up the terrace. And they're going to hold Meyer at second with a double. Dave, that is 5 hits in the inning, and 4 of them are for extra bases.
And what's been interesting, I was just going to say before that last pitch, I didn't get it in, but Columbus Grove defensively in the outfield, they haven't backed up at all. They're still playing shallow. Now it looks like Patrick out in center field is taking about 4 or 5 steps deeper. But right now he's walking back towards the infield a little bit more.
Patrick had played more to a right center for that left-handed hitter as that ball's in the dirt to Damon Kramer, a .286 hitter on the season.
Damon on a 4-game hit streak. So that's the second time he's had it. He opened up the season on 4 games.
Sauter back to the plate. 2-0. Derek Kanapke's on deck. Damon Kramer is the second baseman today. And that one's down. Runs the count 3-0.
Yeah, this is where Gage Sauter's got to regroup a little bit, climb the ladder. Been hit hard here in the bottom of the first.
Strike on the outside corner makes it 3-1. 7th hitter in the inning for Coach Mitchell Hayes. And there's a walk.
First free pass given up by Sauter. And that's going to bring Coach Sauter out to talk to his pitcher here for Grove.
Put runners on first and second for Derek Kanapke, the .275 hitting Kanapke. He's got 11 RBIs on the season. You know, while we got a second, Dave, let's talk about Columbus Grove a little bit because Andy Schaefer, the very successful football coach, kind of racked up one of those things you really like to see a coach get handed to this week. The OHSAA announced their sportsmanship, ethics, and integrity winners for the 2025 season, and Andy Schaefer from Grove was named that in the football category coach this year.
And when you are successful like he is, that's great. You know, the numbers bear that out. But what he does, you know, as a human being and with his players, and he's always been great to us at WOSN, just an outstanding individual, a great leader of young men at Columbus Grove in all facets.
Here's Kanapke, and .275 hitter, 11 RBIs on the season after the meeting at the mound. 5 hits in the inning. That one's roped down the third baseline. Got out in front of that one. Isaac Moeller, the DH, will be the next hitter at .364 on the season. Just outside, makes the count 1-1 on the season. It's 3-1 on our Wabash Mutual Telephone scoreboard.
Columbus Grove looking for a ground ball here. Touch any bag.
And that one's hit over the third baseman's head. Let's see if they send him. Here's the throw from first. And it's going to come up the line, head first slide. And that will allow Bryant Meyer to score. The 4th run for the Flyers this inning and a RBI hit for Derek Kanapke.
Nice job by Kanapke going over Flores' head. He gave everything he could. Jumped up in the air but couldn't get to it. And then obviously Meyer rounds third and comes home to score. Maybe if you want to look at a mental error right there, Damon Kramer probably should be on third base. That ball was over the cutoff man's head and then bobbled at home. He did not take third. First and second still a forced situation for Grove, any base to get out of the inning.
Isaac Moeller takes a ball in the first pitch outside. 364 hitter with 4 RBIs on the season in the 9 spot. That one also misses outside. It's 2-0. 6 hits in the inning for the Flyers. Put a 4 spot on the board.
Gage Sauter again. He's trying to touch the black on the outside because anything that comes across the plate, Marion Locals hit hard.
And that one got over the head of the third baseman. Ball gets past first. That's going to be an RBI hit for Moeller. And they have batted around in the opening inning. Damon Kramer scores the 5th run of the inning for the Flyers, and we're back to Griffin Bruns at the top of the order.
7 hits in the bottom of the first, and right now the nonverbals for Gage Sauter. He's a little dejected right now, and I can understand why. He's thrown some of his best pitches up there, and Marion Local have just reversed them and found green out there. Now Coach Sauter's coming out again.
Coach Sauter's going to come to the mound, and while he does that, we're going to take a break. You're watching High School Tournament Baseball on WOSN. Back at Veterans Field, our scoreboard day is brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone, proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. And the new pitcher, Dave, will be Brady Basinger on the mound. As Brady comes in looking at his numbers, find him here. Brady Basinger has pitched 37 innings on the season. He is 6-2. He's walked 15, struck out 55. He's hit 6 batters. His ERA is 1.70. And the left-hander will step in.
And number 3, Levi Burkholder is going to take over at first base now for Columbus Grove.
Thank you. So does that mean Sauter's out of the game, I guess?
That's what we'll look to see.
Because he will lead off, was scheduled to lead off in the 2nd. And the Flyers batted around against Sauter, against Gage Sauter. And that means Griffin Bruns is back up. Griffin started this out with a double and scored the first run.
Brady Basinger comes from the left side out there. And again, he had the no-hitter in the sectional final this past Saturday against Lima Perry. They need him to come in and put out the fire here in the bottom of the first.
He throws a first pitch strike.
Nice placement right there on the outside corner.
Still 2 runners on, and Derek Kanapke and Isaac Moeller. That's a swing and a miss. It goes to 0-2. We'll be back to Ian Rindler on deck. Breaking ball, and he gets a strikeout. So the inning comes to an end, but it's a very productive inning for the Marion Local Flyers. They'll take a 5-1 lead after 1. You're watching High School Tournament Baseball on WOSN. One of our presenting sponsors today is Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and see us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. And our second inning today is brought to you by Home & Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist. A member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. And we will see who hits. It looks like it will be number 7. Sauter's going to come back in to hit. So we'll see how that plays out when it comes to who plays first base in the next inning. Rindler's first pitch is down.
Right now, if you're Columbus Grove, you just got to think, okay, we got to peck away at this one bat at a time, 1 base at a time. It's early. As a coach, there are times I told teams, you know, if we want if we're going to have a great come from behind victory, we've got one part of it accomplished. We're behind. So
ground ball to Bruns at short. Here's the throw across the diamond, and they got him. Sauter goes down 6-3. And Carter Flores will step in, a .250 hitter, third baseman today.
Just got to stay locked in, stay focused. See if Flores can get something going here with 1 out.
The third baseman for Braden Sauter, I saw him play against Elida about 10 days ago. He was really good at third base. That ball's fouled away.
Good cut right there.
Yep.
Braden Souter in his 5th year, 8th year overall at Columbus Grove, but 5th year leading the program, 78 and 52.
Pitch is high, and right now there's a New Bremen coaching staff that hopes their players field as well as they did, because the New Bremen coaching staff right behind the home plate here caught that pop foul. Pitch is up and in. It's 2-1. New Bremen and Parkway in our second game today. The winners will be back here on Friday night at 6 p.m. where you and I will be, Dave.
Yep, looking forward to it.
That ball's fouled away. It's 2-2. Aiden Patrick's on deck. 2-2. Rindler pitches outside. Full count. Aiden Patrick Wyatt first. Yet to hit in this inning for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. And that pitch is up, and we get a walk.
Good bat by Carter Flores. Any way to get down to first base. Earns the base on balls, and that'll bring Aiden Patrick to the plate.
Rindler had walked 23 batters in 33 innings coming into today. But certainly that's good for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs to get a runner on base here for Patrick. 234 hitter with 13 RBIs. Flores has stolen a couple of bases on the season. Pitches a ball. Ball's hit to runs it short to the second baseman, Meyer, and cross court it goes from Kramer. To Kanapke. It's a double play to end the inning. Bruns, Kramer, Kanapke. It's a double play, and we go to the bottom of the second with Marion Local up 5-1. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Tonight's baseball game was presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Ian Rindler will hit first, followed by Ethan Heitkamp and Hayden Peppelman. Basinger back on the mound. And the left-hander's pitch is down low.
You know, we talked earlier about Marion Local being an old man's team with 8 seniors, 1 junior, and 1 sophomore. Well, the situation for Columbus Grove is pretty much the opposite. They have 3 seniors out there in their starting lineup, 1 junior, 4 sophomores, and 1 freshman.
And Basinger's pumping strikes. Ball in 2 strikes. Rindler doubled, knocked in a run, and scored a run in that opening 5-run inning.
Basinger, one of those sophomores.
Foul ball. Heitkamp's on deck, followed by Peppelman. 1-2. Basinger back to the mound, and that pitch is blooped. And nice running catch by Alex Meyer, the second baseman. He had to go a long way to get that one.
Great effort right there, going to his left and rolling through the dirt and catching that one before it hits the dirt. Big first out for Columbus Grove.
Ethan Heitkamp steps in. Ethan singled. And that pitch is outside. 1-0. Breaking ball stays high. It's 2-0. Eventually wiped out as a part of a double play. That pitch goes to the screen. 3-0.
Yeah, Caleb Davis tried to frame that one. Enjoyed being a spring training this year, Major League style, watching the catchers work on framing pitches. Coach, they had a coach about 25 feet in front of catchers on the side, and they were just throwing the ball at each corner of the strike zone, and the catcher had to pull it in and pull it in. I'm like, man, I never saw that back in 1984.
First pitch or 4-pitch walk to Ethan Heitkamp. Peppelman steps in. He hit into that double play back in the opening inning. Or this 5-1 deficit for Columbus Grove could have been a lot worse. Ball's grounded to the shortstop. Here's Hopkins. Got one play. It's across the diamond, and he beat it out. Ball was slow and grass. And let's see how they score that one.
I think you got to give that a base hit.
I'm glad they did because I would have as well.
Hopkins came in fast. He charged that baseball, but it got in the grass. It was a worm killer, and he threw it as quickly as he could, but
of course
Peppelman beat it out.
The grass is a bit damp today as Parker Hess steps in. Parker tripled in the opening inning, drove in a run, eventually scored a run. He takes a strike. Swings to that pitch. 0-2. Runners on first and second in the presence of Hayden Peppelman and Ethan Heitkamp.
Flyers looking to play add-on here. Runners on first and second with one out.
And he gets him swinging.
Nice job by Basinger.
Big strikeout that time. His second of the game. And that brings 2 outs, and that will bring up Bryant Meyer for a lefty-on-lefty matchup with 2 outs. Runners going. Here's a throw to third, and got him out stealing. Good throw from Caleb Davis. Carter Flores lays down the tag, and Columbus Grove gets out of the inning. It's still 5-1 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Back at Veterans Field here in Coldwater, we ended inning number 2 with a strikeout. Our strikeouts today are brought to you by Northwest Ohio Recycling in Pandora. Paying top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, scrap iron, and scrap cars. You can call 419-384-3392. Wyatt First will start the 3rd inning for Columbus Grove. Then we'll go back to the top of the order with Kyle Hopkins and Alex Meyer.
Big at bat for Columbus Grove here in the top of the 3rd. If you can get that number 9 hitter on, roll the lineup over, you might put yourself in the position to make some money, score some runs.
Wyatt First hits .283 on the season. It's going to be a foul ball. The count goes to 1-1. He's also scored 12 runs this year from his number 9 spot in the order.
But obviously Ian Rindler's thinking, I want to keep number 9 off the bases to give myself a better opportunity to have a clean inning with the top of the lineup to follow.
Thought that was a dandy-looking curveball, but it went outside by a bit. Broke a little bit too much for Rindler. 2-1. Now 3-1. Rindler's given up a single hit and a run back in the 1st inning. And that's a strike. Runs count full. Just 1 strikeout and 1 walk today for Rindler. And that means we got strikeout number 2.
Comes right back, does Ian Rindler to clean Fierce out of the batter's box with the strikeout. 1 out, top of the lineup.
Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout. Here's Kyle Hopkins. Kyle singled and scored in the opening inning. Bounces that curveball up there.
That was the old 52-footer right there, Mark.
It's supposed to go 60 feet, 6 inches, isn't it?
Dude, I hit the grass before the cut. Rindler said, just give me the ball, let's start over.
That's a ground ball. That's going to go foul. Coach Souter makes the play.
Yeah, a little bit of history here. Columbus Grove, they have 7 Northwest Conference championships to their name back in 81, 82, 84, 88, and 89, a dominant team in the 80s, and then in 1990 and 2006.
Ball's lined hard, but right to the 3rd baseman, Parker Hess.
In Marion Local, they have 2 Midwest Athletic Conference championships, 1976 and 1983.
Of the 4 teams in this district, Dave, Marion Local is the only one to have played in the state tournament. A couple of times. 2 outs as Alex Meyer steps in, and he will take a pitch up and in for a ball. He was on by an error on a sacrifice bunt in the opening inning. That ball's fouled away. 1-1.
Same car, same SUV across the street. The best part is the guy was in the car.
Alex Meyer's 2nd team Northwest Conference selection. Looking to do a little damage with 2 outs.
Overthrew that pitch. Makes it 2-1.
Rindler wiping his hand on his
Yeah.
pants leg right away. That was a fastball, too. The first one that he threw real short was a curve. That one was a fastball. It might be a little slippery.
And that time he just blew it by him.
Comes right back.
Little Linda Ronstadt blew by you.
Yes.
2-2 is the count. 2 outs here in inning number 3. And Rindler gets to pop that one up foul. Brady Basinger is on deck.
Towards the same SUV that's now decided to move after 3 or 4 balls that were lost in the same spot. Probably a good idea.
And that pitch got him looking. Second strikeout of this inning, third of the game for Ian Rindler, and we'll go to the bottom of the third with the Flyers up 5-1 on the Bulldogs. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. In the third inning, our sponsor is Home & Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Number 6 will lead off this inning for the Marion local Flyers. That's Bryant Meyer. He was up when we had the out-stealing of Heitkamp back in inning number 2.
Brady Basinger came in to face 1 batter in the bottom of the first. He's faced 5 and put a 0 up there in the bottom of the second. Would like to do that here in the third again. Give his team a chance to get in there and get the bats going.
He just overpowered Meyer with that pitch. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Meyer doubled in a run and scored a run in the first inning. The pitch is down, 1-1. One and one. Breaking ball. Almost got the inside corner and just missed with that. It's 2-1.
Yeah, did a nice job of coming inside right there. You got to give Meyer some props for just hanging tough right there. That ball looked like it was going to hit him for a little bit.
That breaking ball, though, caught the outside part of the plate. It's 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, Damon Kramer, Derek Kanapke on in hit yet, and a strikeout. That is the third strikeout by Brady Basinger, a Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout. And Kramer steps in. Kramer walked in the opening inning, eventually scored the 5th and final run of the opening inning. Hits a foul ball.
You know, hindsight is always 20/20, but right now Coach Sauter's probably thinking with the way Brady is pitching right now, maybe I should have come with him to start this game. But right now all he can do is stem the tide and
Brady Basinger has done that.
Yes, he has.
He gets out of this inning. He's got things stabilized. That pitch is up, makes it 2-1.
Neutralizing momentum is the focus right now for number 8 out there on the pitcher's mound for Columbus Grove. And they got to get the bats going against Ian Rindler.
Swings through that pitch. 2-2's the count. Breaks Basinger. Looks into Caleb Davis and overthrew that pitch. It's 3-2. Tried to get a little extra on it, Dave.
Little extra, nice velocity, but you're right, just a little bit out of the strike zone. See how he recoups here.
3-2. That ball's fouled away. Kanapke, who singled and knocked in a run in the opening innings, on deck.
Basinger's been able to get these Flyers to chase some pitches out of the strike zone a little bit. See if he does so here.
Breaking ball and stays outside. That was close.
Great plate discipline by Damon Kramer right there. That looked pretty good. Gets the call, trots down to first base.
Second Brady Basinger walk. Here's Kanapke. Swings through that pitch. There's a few batters that Basinger's just overmatched right now.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Get in the batter's box because here it comes.
Kramer's got 2 stolen bases on the season. Basinger throws one over there. Kanapke followed by Isaac Moeller. Shows bunt, pushes it down to first baseline. It's going to go foul. 0-2.
Yeah, I like the thought from Coach Hayes. Put the pressure on the defense. We're struggling to make contact a little bit against big number 8 out there. See if we can lay one down and cause Columbus Grove to have a miscue or just beat it out for a base hit.
Did he go? And that he did. A swinging strike 3 for Derek Kanapke. Second Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout of the inning for Brady Basinger, and that brings Isaac Moeller up.
Yeah, Basinger, he has the walk in this inning, but overall he is finding a rhythm out there. He and Davis on the same page.
That pitch is breaking ball outside, ball 1. Moeller was the final hitter to face the starter, Gage Souter, and his single and RBI brought Brady Basinger in where he has been since. Fastball 2-0. Pair of strikeouts in the inning. Sandwiched around a walk to Damon Kramer. There's a throw over to first. I don't think we described the field yet, Dave. It's 335 down the left field line, 348 to left center, 380 just to the right of center field. And that pitch is high, makes it 3-0. It goes to 348 in the right center and then 315 down the right field line. And as we both mentioned multiple times when we come to Coldwater, a terrace in center field.
Beautiful facility. You saw a little dust when Kramer dove back to first base. So
second walk of the inning, third overall, puts runners on first and second. And we go back to the top of the order. And Griffin Bruns. Griffin has doubled and struck out today.
As we said earlier, a few sprinkles before the game started, but field just in excellent playing shape. Kudos to Eric Goodwin and his staff of Coldwater.
Breaking ball misses outside. Tried to catch the back door with that one and unable to. Makes it 1-0. That ball's fouled. Makes it 1-1. If your leadoff hitter has batted 3 times and you're in the third inning, you're doing some good things.
Yeah, you've put some runs on the board. Marion Local has those 5. Right now, Basinger trying to keep it at that number.
2-1. Ian Rindler's on deck. And that breaking ball got past Bruns, makes it 2-2.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch right there. Pitching location and change of speed goes a tremendously long way.
And got him looking. Called strike 3. So Brady Basinger strikes out the side with his third Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout of the inning. A pair of walks in there as well. Flyers will leave 2 runners on, but we'll go to the top of the 4th. It's 5-1 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Tonight's baseball game was presented by Charles River in Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. We go to the top of the 4th. It's 5-1 Flyers, and we'll start off with Brady Basinger to lead off for Columbus Grove. Ian Rindler back for his 4th inning as that pitches the ball.
3, 4, and 5 for Columbus Grove. If you want to make some noise, this is a great time to do it here in the top of the 4th. Basinger looking to help himself.
Kind of an excuse me foul ball by Basinger. Caleb Davis is on deck. Jacob Ricker will follow him. Rindler's given up just a single hit today. 3 strikeouts and a walk through 3 innings. Throws that one by him. 1-2.
Basinger, a leader on this Grove squad with 10 doubles. They could use one right here.
Breaking ball. Tap to Bruns at short. Big throw across the diamond and got loose.
Tough situation right there for Bruns at short. He couldn't come charge the ball because he wasn't going to be able to get there before that hop, and then it was a high hop, and Basinger hustling down the line beats it out, and they give him a hit on that.
Had to wait a long time to see what the official scorekeeper did. Did put hit up on the board, the second one for Columbus Grove today, and Caleb Davis will step in.
And that's the right call. Bruns played that ball the only way he could.
Strike on the outside part of the plate. Davis had a sack bunt back in the opening inning. That ball's hit foul, 0-2.
0-2 now, definitely takes the bunt out of play, but I don't think you can use the bunt now. You can't give away outs here, down 4. Even though it's the 4th inning, Rindler has been dominant since the first frame.
Took something off that one. It was outside, trying to get him to fish, and did not. 1-2.
So you're looking to make contact, move Basinger along with either a productive out or a base hit.
That one's hit to left. Bryant Myers out there, and we'll circle around and grab it. Fly ball out. And Jacob Ricker will step in.
Good contact by Caleb Davis. Just a fly ball that out there to left field, which Meyer reels in rather casually.
Little line drive to the shortstop for Jacob in inning number 1. Brought that inning to an end. And Souter's on deck. So 1 out with Basinger on first base. Basinger dives back into first base. Pretty good lead for Basinger. And a first pitch strike. Jacob Ricker.
Rindler's been doing exactly what you want as a coach when you have a 4-run lead. He's pounding the strike zone, saying, Columbus Grove, here it comes, hit it.
Pitch is a bit inside and up. It's 1-1. 239 hitter on the season. Ball's foul back, 1-2.
Ricker with a good cut at that one, right on it as the foul ball went straight back, just underneath it. They turn the lights on here.
1-2
at Veterans Field.
So our second game, our 7:30 game, will be predominantly played under the lights this evening. A little bit overcast day as it is. That will be Parkway and New Bremen. Big slow curveballs, high, 2-2.
Just got to keep battling if you're Columbus Grove.
3-2.
Been down to this site for a lot of district tournaments and seen a lot of crazy things happen.
That ball's hit up into the gap, but the center fielder is going to track it down. Laws, nope. The left fielder, Bryant Meyer, came over. They kind of bothered each other, and that's going to fall.
And that's going to be an error. And what did we just say about crazy things happening?
There you go.
Routine fly ball. And I really do believe Drew Laws, that was his ball to catch. Center fielder takes precedent in the outfield. Bryant Meyer, I'm sure he was communicating the whole way, but Laws needed to communicate a little bit more, and as a result, 2-on with 1 out for Grove.
Souter steps in. Grounded out 6-3, takes a ball. Basinger had to hold up thinking the ball was going to be caught, so he only ended up at second base. So they're first and second with 1 out. Shows bunt, drops it in the grass. Rindler's going to make the play and throw it to first, where they get the out. Sack bunt by Souter.
So Souter does move them up here. I think what Coach Souter would have liked to have seen is that bunt go down either baseline, because both first and third, they were not charging on the play. I think he was trying to bunt for a base hit, but it went right back to Rindler. Yeah, it's a productive out, but they've got to make hay here with 2 outs and runners in scoring position right now. Do the Bulldogs.
There's Carter Flores, walked in inning number 2, was erased by it in a double play situation. Takes a ball. 250 hitter. He's got 9 RBIs on the season. He'd like to add to that right here. That pitch is up and in. Duck away from that one, 2-0.
Flores takes a little bit of time getting back in the batter's box. That pitch was right up by his eyes.
Foul ball, 2-1.
Actually, it's played in right field.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I thought that ball was headed out foul.
That's caught.
Yeah, you're right. Play by the outfielder, Peppelman. And it will be a scoreless inning, even though they put 2 on. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Bottom of the 4th. Coldwater will send up number 13, and that is Ian Rindler to hit. Rindler, Heitkamp, Peppelman.
2-3-4 for the Flyers. They'd like to play add-on here in the bottom of 4. Grove had a threat in the top, unable to score.
Foul ball for Rindler. 1 for 2 on the day. That one's hit to right, and that one's going to get down. And he will hold on with a single. Will Ian Rindler, his second hit of the day. Double the single for him.
Went with the pitch. Basinger's been living on the outer third, and the Marion local batters starting to sense that. Rindler goes with the pitch, drives it to right field for a solid leadoff single here in the bottom of 4.
9th hit of the day for the Flyers.
Earlier on in the year. Talk about that as we go along as he got bunt.
Heitkamp showed bunt, pulled it back, and will take a ball.
Ethan Heitkamp, the leading. Oh, got him leaning there a
Boy,
little
that
bit.
did.
Yep. Heitkamp, the leading batting average for Marion Local at 368, first team max selection. Shortens up there. I don't know, just a show bunt, but I think he's going to be swinging. Doesn't show anything there.
Takes a strike. He certainly pulled Flores in at third base, who will now kind of head back to the cut of the grass. Big slow breaking ball stays high. It's 2-1. Peppelman and Parker Hess are on deck.
And with Basinger living on the outer third, it's okay for Flores to be in a little bit.
2-1.
Hard
3-1, excuse me.
Hard pitch to pull down the third base line.
All the runs scored today in the opening inning, 5 by the Flyers, 1 by the Bulldogs. He swings through that pitch. Makes it 3-2.
Brady Basinger, big old farm boy when he brings the heat out there.
5 strikeouts on the day for Brady.
He's a sophomore, only going to get better.
That ball's hit up in the air. And that's out between 3 fielders, and the right fielder's going to make the play. Wyatt first.
Yeah, Fierce started this game in left field, has now moved to right. Good catch right there, keeps Rindler at first base.
There's Peppelman to step in. Peppelman hit one to the shortstop and has also got a single back in inning number 2. 309 hitter on the season.
And again, we mentioned how he led the MAC in home runs this year, but this fence is deep here at Coldwater. We've seen some hard-hit balls not come close. It's going to be hard for him to do that here, but
the only thing I will say to that, Dave, is it's just 315 down the line.
I was going to say.
It really comes in a great deal between right center and down the line, but other than that, it's 348 in right center. That pitch is an inside strike. We'll go to 1-1.
Agree with you, Mark. If he could pull it, get it right down the line, give himself a chance.
That minivan out there.
Yeah, could be in play.
Could be in play. That ball bounces to the screen. A wild pitch will allow Rindler to move up to second. First wild pitch for either team today.
Yeah.
And that'll make the count at 2-1 on Peppelman. Basinger, foul ball. 2-2.
Peppelman late on that one. No way he was going to go down the right field line there, but give a lot of credit to Brady Basinger again with his location of his his fastball and his breaking ball change of speed, doing a nice job keeping Marion Local off balance.
That's a really good breaking ball right there. Ooh. I guess that dove outside, Dave. From our vantage point, that looked like a really good pitch.
It sure did. Good plate discipline by Peppelman right there. He knew better than we did.
3-2 with a game that's 65 minutes old in the bottom of the fourth. Foul ball. Spoiled a pretty good breaking ball.
Mm-hmm. Stayed right in on it. High school baseball, left-handed batters don't see left-handed pitchers that often.
Ball's hit to the right side, and he's going to beat it out. Did he? Yes,
he sure
he
did.
Great hustle play by Peppelman as he raced down the line and dove into first base and beat the play.
A lot of times they say that dive to first base will slow you down. It didn't look like it there. It looked like a great decision by Peppelman in order to have the infield single. Rindler gets to third on the play. Runners on the corners with one out. Marion Local, they're looking to go Geico, trying to get a little insurance here in the bottom of four.
That allowed Rindler to move up to third as Parker Hess steps in today. Parker's got a triple, struck out, got an RBI, and scored a run. That ball was just hit in kind of no man's land.
It really was. The first baseman had to come and get it.
Yep.
Second baseman wasn't going to be able to. It was a high chopper. And Basinger did what he was supposed to do. He broke the first base right away. Just great hustle by Peppelman to beat it out.
Pitch on the outside corner. That's a good pitch for a strike. 0-1's the count to Hess. Bryant Myers on deck. Peppelman goes. That ball's hit foul. 0-2's the count. Peppelman will trot back to first base.
Yeah, trot back. I think he had that base stolen. I don't even know that Davis would have thrown the baseball to second.
Trying to put a second runner in scoring position, and now Caleb Davis is going to come out and give some instructions about how we're going to play this. We're in at the corners, back at second and short. There goes Peppelman again. That one's going to be fouled again, and he's going to say, whoa. Stop doing that, will you?
Get my exercise in.
I'm not going to have to run any sprints when this game's over.
No.
My conditioning is going to be pretty good.
I think he's looking at the glass half full to get a snap throw over there, Mark. I think he's saying, you know, I'm on base and I'm getting a run. It's better than being in the dugout right now.
Yeah, 0-2's the count to Parker Hess. Brady Basinger. Back to the plate he comes. That time Peppelman doesn't go, and the ball's outside, 1-2.
Catching his breath. I think we'll see him go on this pitch.
1-2's the count. Here he goes. And that pitch is inside. He's got a stolen base. So Peppelman finally has a chance to get his wheels going with the pitch that's not fouled back.
Those who stick with the game plan are rewarded. As now runners on second and third with one out. Marion Local looking to add on.
That's hit up the middle. Here's the shortstop, looks and doesn't make a play.
Kyle Hopkins froze out there. He thought about coming home, and then he thought about short, and then he thought about coming home. And unfortunately, what did he do that was wrong? He thought. You can't think out there. Got to know what you're going to do with it before you get it. And as a result, it is going to be a run for Marion Local.
It's a fielder's choice on the play and an RBI for Parker Hess, his second. As Rindler scored from third, Peppelman moved up to third. And Bryant Meyer will step in. Bryant's doubled and struck out today. Low and inside.
So a run scores, and we find ourselves in the same situation where Marion Local has runners on first and third.
Parker Hess has stolen 10 bases on the season. Now the infield is in.
And right now, for the first time, the nonverbals for Grove out there, not the most positive.
And there's, without a throw, Hess heads down to second base.
Defensive indifference, not a stolen base.
I don't know who thought that up. That's a cool term. 2-0.
Yeah, because
And now
I
2-1.
always look for it to be a stolen base for me because that's the only way I ever got him.
2-1's the count on Meyer. Damon Kramer's on deck.
With the infield pulled in, if it's hit right at you, you got to be thinking about cutting that run off at home.
One's roped down the right field line to make it 2-2. Got out in front of that one. Choked way up on the bat and strikes out swinging. So we get a Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout. Second time Meyer's gone down today. That's the 6th strikeout of the game for Brady Basinger. And we'll bring in Damon Kramer. Scoreboard sponsor today is Wabash Mutual Telephone. Proud sponsor of Mercer County Athletics. Appreciate their support today.
Basinger again in a position where he can put out the scoring threat. One unearned run scored in this inning against him.
That ball's going to be fouled, dribbled foul, and makes the count 1-1. Kramer. Derek Knapke is on deck. Here's Basinger back to the plate. And that one's in the dirt. Caleb Davis keeps it in front of him, makes it 2-1.
Brady looking at his landing spot right there on the mound. Looked at it right away after he threw that pitch. Initially, I thought maybe he just tried to overthrow, but I think it's just a situation where his plant foot moved.
3-1. Kramer's already walked twice today. He scored a run in the opening inning. Was stranded at second in inning number 3. Ball's line and made by the second baseman, Alex Meyer, makes a leaping play, and Damon Kramer looks at him like, what do I got to do to get a hit? But his team puts one on the board. It'll be 6-1 Flyers as we head to the 5th. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We go to the top of the 5th. Our presenting sponsor today is Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and see us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. And our 5th inning today was brought to you by Home Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group, with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. 6-1 Flyers as we go to the top of inning number 5. And that will be Aiden Patrick, Wyatt First, and Kyle Hopkins against Ian Rindler. Ian gave up a single in the opening inning. That player, Kyle Hopkins, scored and shut him out since then on a 2-hitter. And he blows a fastball by Patrick.
Yes, just good old country fastball right there.
There's a breaking ball. That one will be low and away. Makes it 1-1. My dad called it country hardball.
There you go.
Yep. That one's popped up. And looks like Peppelman's going to come in and make the play. Right field, and that will be the first out of the inning. Wyatt First steps in next. Wyatt has been up once in the game today and struck out back in inning number 3. Fastball low. 1-0. 1-1 is pitched on the outside corner.
As we said, just 3 seniors out there for Grove. Wyatt First, a sophomore.
That ball's fouled away, 1-2.
He's a sophomore. Carter Flores is a sophomore. Gage Sauter is a sophomore. And, of course, Brady Basinger is a sophomore. Add Alex Meyer, a freshman.
Big curveball and got him looking.
A lot of youth out there getting a lot of experience for Grove and a lot of experience for Fierce watching that curveball go right across the plate.
Just froze him for the 4th strikeout today. We go back to the top of the order, and Kyle Hopkins. Breaking ball to start him off with, and that was a dandy as well.
Hopkins is the opposite end of the spectrum, a 4-year starter, vocal leader for this Grove squad. See if he can get himself on base with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
1-1. 1-2. How about what he did in football? Went from wide receiver to quarterback and took them deep into the playoffs this year. What a year he had.
He said, whatever coach needs me to do, I'm here to do it. And that's what a leader does. And again, that's continued through the winter in basketball and also right here on the diamond.
That ball's popped up on a 2-2 count. Let's see who's going to make the play. Rindler comes in, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. We're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-1 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We're back at Veterans Field in Coldwater. Our strikeout sponsor today is Northwest Ohio Recycling in Pandora, paying top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, scrap iron, and scrap cars. Visit 419-384-3392. And our scoreboard today is brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. And Dave, we have a new pitcher now for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. Kyle Hopkins steps in.
Yeah, we just talked about his senior leadership. Coach Slaughter puts him out on the bump now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. He has pitched 38.1 innings this season, a 1-4 record, 1 save. He has given up 35 hits, 26 runs, 21 base on balls, 41 strikeouts. His ERA is 3.47.
First pitch strike. And now it's 1-1 on Derek Kanapke. That movement then allowed Jacob Ricker, who's been about everywhere in the lineup today. He's moved over to play second. Brady Basinger ended up at first base. Breaking ball, and that will stay up. It's 2-1.
And Alex Meyer is now at shortstop.
3-1 fastball makes it 3-2. That ball's fouled away. Inside pitch to Kanapke. Isaac Moeller's on deck, and Griffin Bruns will follow him.
Brady Basinger comes in and does a nice job for 3 innings, 3.1 innings, only gives up 1 run.
And that will be a Northwest Recycling strikeout for Hopkins. 7 strikeouts now for Grove pitching as Moeller steps in. He's singled today, walked, officially 1 for 1. Fastball outside part of the plate. And we'll make it 1-1. Nope. Is that outside, Dave? I thought he called that a strike.
So
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
The scoreboard says it's 2-1, so I misread the umpire's signal, I guess.
I think you might have been right. The scoreboard just caught up on that next pitch.
And we're going to look. Did he get him? Called it a strike. So we were correct. The scoreboard had it wrong. So we're going to get a swinging strike. And so Kyle Hopkins has come in and thrown a pair of strikeouts, brought to you by Northwest Ohio Recycling.
And he's not messing around either.
Sir.
He's getting the ball in his mitt and getting on the rubber and coming plateward right away. And that has been the modus operandi of all 3 Grove pitchers. Get it and pitch it.
Breaking ball. That will be a strike. Make it 1-1. Griffin Bruns doubled and scored in the opening inning. He struck out twice since then. That foul's going to be dribbled down to the first baseman to pick up by Basinger, and he just waits and puts the tag on Griffin Bruns. It's a good inning for Kyle Hopkins. It's a 1-2-3. We go to the top of the 6th. 6-1 Flyers. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. Veterans Field in Coldwater. Tonight's baseball game is brought to you by Charles River and Spencerville. Proud to support area athletes and students. Visit criver.com for more information. Sixth inning will also be brought to you today by Homan's Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. Number 33 will step in to hit. That's Alex Meyer here in the 6th inning for Columbus Grove. Meyer today, sacrifice bunt was on with an error and then struck out in the 3rd. Foul ball. Rindler's been good today.
Yeah, he really has. I'm just thinking, you know, sometimes the cardinal rule is when you're down late in the game, you wait until that pitcher throws a strike. Throw that out the window, that philosophy with Rindler, because he's bringing first pitch strikes consistently, and that was a good cut by Meyer on that first pitch.
Well, through 5 innings, he's walked just a single batter. And if you look at his numbers, 33 innings pitched and 23 walks prior to today. As he throws a strike there, makes it 1 and 2. So he's been on top of things today. Giving up just a pair of hits. That ball's going to be grounded to Bruns in short. Charges, makes the play. Here's the throw, and they got him.
Nice crow hop. Good execution at shortstop right there. Comes in, charges the ball, does Griffin Bruns, and then sets his feet, fires a BB to his first baseman, Derek Kanapke.
Brady Basinger, who has struck out in the opening inning and singled today, was stranded at 3rd base. Breaking ball. Bruns going to get another play. And that throw, and he got Basinger at first. Good scoop at first base by Kanapke.
Basinger, just, again, that curveball, hard to do anything with it. If you're going to drive it, you got to go with the pitch. And he ended up pulling it to the left side of the pitcher's mound. Again, Griffin Bruns, excellent execution at short. 2 up, 2 down.
Caleb Davis comes in at 0-2. That ball's hit up in the air. Peppelman's going to track it down and makes the play in right field. So an easy inning and a solid inning for Ian Rindler. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Flyers up 6-1. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Our presenting sponsor today, Betty's Natural Foods, your partner for better health. Come and see us at Betty's Natural Foods in Osgood. And our strikeout sponsor today is Northwest Ohio Recycling in Pandora, paying top dollar for aluminum, copper, brass, scrap iron, and scrap cars. 419-384-3392. Columbus Grove in the field, and Marion Local coming to bat for what they hope is the final time in this game, and they will start with Ian Rindler, Ethan Heitkamp, and Hayden Peppelman. Kyle Hopkins with a very successful 5th inning as he struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced today.
Yeah, looked real good in that inning. See if he can carbon copy it here in the bottom of the 6th. Faced 3 batters. Would love to do nothing more than have a quick inning and try and get the bats going with his teammates in the top of the 7th.
Here's Rindler. Low and away. Rindler's 2 for 3 today and has scored both times he's had base hits. 2-0. Breaking ball for a strike. Dandy pitch that was 2-1.
But not only the fact that he went 6 for 6, he scored 5 times, knocked in 4, and hit 2 big boy shots.
2-1.
He had 2 home runs in that game.
Rindler just very, very confident in that batter's box. Hitter's pitch.
And that one's in the dirt. It was 3-1, and Rindler will walk. And Ethan Heitkamp will step in. You know, Dave, I always find this situation kind of interesting. Here's your pitcher. He's on first base as a leadoff walk. You got the 7th inning coming up. Do you want to run for him, let him sit there? And sometimes you go, you know what, I'd rather be a part of the game and stay on base and worry about what it does to you fatigue-wise later on. First pitch strike.
And this is the point in the season. If you haven't done that all year long, don't go to it now. Keep him, be consistent with what you've done, and I think Coach Hayes consistently has kept his pitchers in the game in this type of situation, and I agree. Keeps you active, keeps you locked in, thinking offensively. But you're right. There are a lot of coaches who philosophically like that pitcher in the dugout thinking about that first batter of the ensuing inning and how he and the catcher are going to attack that batter.
0-2 to Heitkamp. Breaking balls hit fouls. He spoils that good pitch. And then sometimes you go to the dugout and you got a long inning on a 56-degree, 58-degree night, and you come back out and you're stiff, and you're better just to stay out there and be active. 0-2. Breaking ball, and he got a big curveball strikeout looking as he chalks up a Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout looking. That's 3 out of 4 batters have gone down by the K mark by Kyle Hopkins.
And number 9 in the game for Columbus Grove.
Here's Peppelman. Rindler dives back in. Now, Rindler's stolen 10 bases on the season. I'm not sure you want your pitcher in a 6-1 game trying to steal second base, but he can wheel if he wants to.
He's got a good lead.
Just take something off that breaking ball and swings through it.
But I do think Coach Hayes will stay conservative here right now and not look to have him go for a stolen base.
Peppelman fouls that one back. There goes Rindler and throws high, and he's got his 11th stolen base of the season. Well, that shows what I know, Dave.
Well, I'm right there with you. Takes advantage of the outside pitch. You'd say, well, that's a good pitch out. Well, it was a little to Davis's left, a little bit more than what he would like, and as a result, Rindler gets the stolen base.
1-2. And he strikes out swinging. A really good breaking ball that time as we get another Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeout back-to-back for Kyle Hopkins, his 4th.
Number 10 in the game. 10 Northwest Ohio Recycling strikeouts for this Columbus Grove pitching staff.
Here's Parker Hess, takes one wide.
Not really going to say it's been feast or famine for Marion Local because they've had some small ball situations as well, but 10 strikeouts, you wouldn't think you'd be seeing a 6-1 score on the board.
That ball's hit up in the air. Patrick is able to circle around and grab it in the outfield. So 3 out of 4 batters go down for the Marion Local Flyers, and we'll go to the 7th. They're on top, 6-1. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. To the 7th we go at Coldwater. Scoreboard today has been brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone, a proud supporter of Mercer County Athletics. And our 7th inning was brought to you by Holman Insurance, your trusted local insurance specialist, a member of the Wayne Insurance Group with 2 locations to serve you in Chickasaw and in Versailles. For Columbus Grove, it'll be Jacob Ricker, Gage Souter, and Carter Flores trying to stay alive in the district semifinals.
What's the old Chinese proverb? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single footstep, and that's where Grove is right now. Just a lot of challenges here in the top of the 7th. Down 5 runs, going against a veteran Marion Local squad, but there's good contact.
It is. That's going to be hit number 3 in the game. It's going to be cut off by the center fielder, Laws. And it's a good start here in inning number 7 for Jacob Ricker as he gets a single.
His first hit of the game, but that's how you start it. 1 base at a time. Just try and put some pressure on, but Marion Local, as we said, starting 8 seniors, 1 junior, 1 sophomore. There's a wild pitch.
There's a wild pitch in the dirt. That'll allow Ricker to move up.
And it's not like Marion Local doesn't have tournament success in the fall and the winter season.
Yeah,
wow.
They kind of know how to do things there, don't they? 1-0.
I don't think they're rattled right now, even though Grove's trying to put something together.
Shortstop. Brunn's going to make the play. Nope, he had to charge it, make a play, and couldn't quite get there to do so. See how they score that one on the board. I have a feeling it's going to be an E6.
That's my thought as well. Bruns came in and charged the baseball, and they're going to have a little team meeting out there.
Yep. That will be an error on Bruns. And the first two hitters are on for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs, and that'll bring Carter Flores to the plate. And, they're only coming off back-to-back state track championships, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, they do things pretty well down there in Maria Stein. Of course, what a year it's been for Columbus Grove. Their track teams are doing outstanding this year again, too. Basketball was really good. Football went deep.
Absolutely did.
Two very solid athletic programs we have here today. Terry Schnipke and Dan Koenig, two of the better ADs running their particular schools as well. 2 on, nobody out for Flores. Pitch is up and in. And nobody in the bullpen area for Marion Local right now as Rindler starts out with a couple of guys on here in the inning.
It was a quick conversation by Coach Hayes out there with his team. Just refocus. Tying run is somewhere between here and Columbus Grove.
2-0.
But the beauty of baseball, no clock. Got to get the outs.
That one was just wide. So it's 3-0.
Chance to load the bases with nobody out. Flores has got to be taken here.
And that's a strike on the low and outside part of the plate.
I'm not going to say the strike zone expanded on 3-0, but that one could have went either way.
3-1. Flores. Patrick's on deck. Comes back with another fastball. Makes it 3-2.
Rindler trying to climb the ladder. Big pitch.
That ball's hit up in the air into the gap. Here's Laws over to make the play. He does so. Drew Laws uses his speed to run one down in center field. First out.
You're right. Laws did use his speed because I thought he got a late jump on that one, Mark. Didn't pick it up right away, but then hustled right over there and reeled it in.
We are at the time of day, Dave, where it's hard to see sometimes. The lights aren't quite bright enough because they don't need to be yet, but yet it's not full sunlight either. It's kind of a cloudy day. He does make a run to get to the baseball. Pitches inside to Patrick. Patrick's 0 for 2. Hit into a double play and flied out to the right fielder, Peppelman. That pitch is inside. Look down the umpire. Nope. No swing, says Tony Castronova down there at first base. 2-0. Fastball outside part of the plate.
Yeah, Rindler finds the strike zone right there. He's battling out there. I mean, he's looking to have a complete game. He's thrown a lot of pitches here. Wants to finish this one off, but falling a little bit behind here in the top of the 7th as he goes 3-1 now on Aiden Patrick.
I don't think his delivery looks quite as smooth as it did. I think he's really working here, probably around the 100-pitch mark. And that's outside. He's going to walk a batter. That's his second walk of the game. And Wyatt first will step in. Nope, we're going to get a pinch hitter, looks like. Number 4 will step in. That's Riley Sauter, a 265 hitter on the season.
And as we mentioned earlier, 3 Sauters on this team. No siblings, talking the head coach and 2 players, Engage and Riley, all first cousins.
So we have bases loaded with Sauter stepping in and 1 out. Rindler's pitches in the dirt. And good play by Ethan Heitkamp to get back to get that one in a hurry.
I think that was a situation where, again, Coach Sauter told his runner at third, Jacob Ricker, your run doesn't mean anything right here. We've got to make sure we take care of our outs, got to make sure we can score.
Foul ball, 1-1. Yeah, I think in the second inning, he might well have gone right there. Mm-hmm. But we need runs right now. We can't take any chances. Down 5 here in the 7th. Sauter going to ground one through the hole. Right as Sauter comes off the bench, he's going to drive in a run.
And he's pumped down at first base, and rightly so.
So he gets an RBI single. He drives in Ricker. Does Riley Sauter, and We're headed to the mound, and we're going to make a pitching change. With that, we're going to take a break, too. You're watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN. We're back in the seventh inning. 6 1/3 innings today for Ian Rindler, but he will be replaced on the mound by Bryant Meyer. Bryant has been in left field. He'll be replaced in left field by Camden Eifert. Bryant Meyer's numbers look like this on the season. If I can dig him up here real quick. He is on the season. He's pitched 28 1/3 innings. His ERA is 4.94. Got a couple of wins this year. He struck out 22 batters on the season. And bases loaded as he steps in to face Hopkins.
This is who Coach Sauter wants at the plate. The leading hitter for Columbus Grove. Hopkins comes in with a .467 batting average. And don't look now, but he's the tying run in this game.
That's a fact.
Ian Rindler,
1-1.
just an outstanding
Yes,
effort today. As a competitor, he walked off the field frustrated. He wanted to finish this off, but
That ball's hit up in the air. Is it going to stay in play? It is, and the play is made by Ethan Heitkamp. So we get a foul ball out of Hopkins.
big second out for Marion Local as Hopkins fouls out. Now Alex Meyer's going to step to the plate.
The final out for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. As he can make something happen here. That pitch is up from Bryant Meyer.
Meyer looking to put the fire out and send the Flyers to the district final.
That ball's lined up the middle. That's going to score at least one. And let's see what Coach Sauter chooses to do. He's going to hold the runner. Good line drive single up the middle by Alex Meyer. And that will plate Sauter with the third Columbus Grove Bulldog run and move everybody up a spot.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Meyer. Picks up the RBI and keeps the hopes alive for the Grove faithful.
That one's hit up in the air, and that's going to fall. Brings in another run. Here's a throw to the plate. He's cut off.
Like we said, a lot of crazy things happen.
There you go. Brady Basinger drives in one.
Tying run at second base now. Caleb Davis at the plate.
3-run inning. Still leaves Riley Sauter at third. Alex Myers at second. Now Basinger's on at first. Here's Caleb Davis. Davis takes a strike. He's the 9th batter to hit in the inning. Breaking balls hit to third. Can he get the throw across? Here's the throw. It's going to be high and pulls him off. And that's going to score a run.
The Grove Bulldogs have almost climbed the mountain completely. They're down one now.
6-5. That's chalked up as a hit for Davis.
Thought maybe Parker Hess would try and beat the base runner to third base, but he goes to first, and they beat it out.
And here is Jacob Ricker. He started this inning with a single.
No place to put him if you're Marion Local. He reaches first. That means a run will have scored and will be knotted up. Wow, Mark.
How about that? It's tournament baseball, Dave.
Sure is.
6-5, 2 outs. Here's Myers, pitch to the plate. The bases are still loaded. That's a ball to Ricker. His single started this.
4 runs so far in the top of the 7th for Grove.
That's a strike. 1-1's the count. Pitch is a bit outside. It's 2-1.
Bryant Meyer, the lefty.
That ball's hit up in the air. Laws tracking it down, and he does so. So Columbus Grove makes a run at it by putting 4 on the board here in the 7th. But they will fall to the Marion local Flyers 6-5. And Dave, we got an exciting one, didn't we?
We sure did. Jacob Ricker hit that ball as solid as you can, but it was an atom ball right at Drew Laws. Laws came in initially. I thought, oh, he's not reading it correctly. But he adjusted and gets the final out of the game. Marion local, they come away with a 6-5 victory.
Ian Rindler will be the winning pitcher today. Gage Souter will be the losing pitcher. Columbus Grove will drop to 14-12 as their season comes to an end. Their line score today, 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 6 on base. Marion local will go to 16-7. Their line score, 6 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors today. They left 8 on base, and they will be here, Dave, to play on Friday night at 6 o'clock against the winner of either Parkway or New Bremen.
Yeah, this was a game where Columbus Grove scored in the 1st and the 7th inning, and they put those 4 markers up in the top of the 7th. Marion local had 5 in the 1st, and they had an insurance run, which turned out to be a big one in the 4th. If you're Coach Souter, you're joining a long list of coaches who have played in the district tournament where you're going to think about where you went with your pitching staff in this game. No poor decision in the sense you got to decide who you want to start, but as it turned out, Gage Sauter had a rough outing in the 1st inning, and Hopkins and Basinger came in and shut the door for the most part. But Marion local, they were able to take advantage early on, and they put themselves in a position to win. Grove fought back, but Marion local advances to Friday night's district championship.
I want to thank our sponsors today: Wabash Mutual Telephone, Northwest Ohio Recycling, Home and Insurance, Charles Rivers, and Betty's Natural Food. Of course, Eric Goodwin, the AD here, and tournament manager, does a great job putting things together. Our crew today: Nick Fraley, Megan Sherrick, Jacob O'Neill here at the stadium. And Jacob will take it back to the station and edit it for you to view. Marion local moves to the finals of the district. That will be on Friday night. They do so with a 6-5 victory over the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. You've been watching high school tournament baseball on WOSN.